Today, I'm going to go through 5 clay tables I use to book hundreds of meetings for me and my clients across various industries. I'll walk you through them, how like the prompts, the clay tables, the exact kind of columns I'm using, everything, the whole process. If you don't know who I am, my name is Liam. I run a lead generation agency. We send around 200 to 250,000 cold emails a month, and this is just part of a very large process that we do to book calls per month. So let's get right into it. So the first one is 3 problems. So it's kind of, there's 2 here. So it's 3 problems and 3 ideas. And I'll just show you the prompts. So all you really need is a company domain. It's very simple. And you just come in and you analyze what the company does. It's a very, very simple prompt. It's I want you to analyze this domain and find their types of products, industries, plus ideal client profile. So I want them to output it in, I don't know, just a particular output like a summary. And if I can zoom out a little bit, it might be a little bit smaller. So I want you guys to see you really have nothing. Like when it gets more complicated, you might have some auto run features, etc. But it's just analyzing, seeing what they do as a company generally. If you have the list segmented, then you don't really need to do this, but definitely it depends on what you want. 4.0 mini, pretty simply, and then you can limit the drop down, but for this one, you don't really want to limit the drop down. And then the one next is very, very simple. So you have what the company does. And then this is also another AI, which is I'm going to provide you with the company's ideal client profile, industry, products, and industry. Using those criteria, create 3 potential problems with Facebook ads in their specific industry that is causing company to lose competitors. So here, you can literally replace this with problem. Very simply. In this specific industry, be specific to their company, give unique problems, their business, product, and industry, mention how these products are affecting blah blah blah. And then this is the response. So this is the this response here. And you basically have I output it in JSON just because it's a bit more kind of structured and I can work with it a bit more. And again, through this, there's not really much. So the output looks kind of like this. Okay, we're just going to don't save. Maybe I don't touch stuff. So the output looks a bit like this. So ad targeting misses anime and cosplay community members, reducing engagement. Product images fail to showcase quality, leaving customers uncertain about their purchases, and lack of clear sizing information leads to increased returns and customer dissatisfaction. So like this costs, I literally don't even know. That's 1 cent. That's a thousandth of a dollar. That's 10,000. Is that 100,000 of a dollar? So something like that. Like I don't even know what that number is. So it's nearly like 10,000th of a dollar. Like it costs nothing. And you can do this for all of your, basically every single client. And I do this pretty often. It works really, really well. Like I obtain it works really, really well. So, and then all I do to extract it, just to make sure I have more control, is just I just parse the JSON, get the response, and then just output the problem one. Very simply, it's just a pretty simple concept like that. Next one is ideas. So this one is you can skip the what they do, and you need to be careful. So when you're running ideas, something like this, you need to make sure that they're actually running Facebook ads, and you can do this via running Appify. Like there's a few ways of scraping the Meta ads library. So Appify is probably the main one I use on kind of a big scale. So using the input, create 3 ideas of creative Facebook ad ideas for a company to get more customers. So instead of finding problems, you're actually finding ideas now for them. And the ideas have to be possible with Facebook and Google ad marketing, blah, blah, blah. This is the input. Be specific, give unique advice, keep each idea under 20 words. Use strategies that use Facebook ad marketing. Make sure only output 3 bullet points, formatted like this. It's honestly it's honestly really simple. You literally just have to run this prompt for each client, and it just runs like crazy. Like I think people need to realize that a lot of email nowadays isn't actually writing the emails because that's actually like with stuff like Clay, it's really easy. The hard part is actually like deliverability and landing in the inbox. The lens you don't see it, but the lens lead generation owners go to land in the inbox. I've spent a lot of money on that, and I probably should make a video on that. But again, it's very simple. So let me see if I open this up. The prompt looks like this. Run a carousel, ads showcasing unique vintage pieces with direct purchase links, create Facebook Live event for exclusive vintage fashion shows and Q&A sessions, utilize retargeting ads featuring items users viewed paired with limited time discounts. So again, I don't even know, like 1/10,000th of a cent or something. Like yeah, so it's very simple like that. So yeah. Next one is case study. So this is another one I like to do very quite often actually. It works specifically well for investment, like relations, etc., because you can actually reference someone they work with inside like the investment space. So defendant's website. So this is the prompt. I want you to act as a prosecutor who is building a case against a fraudulent company. I just want to clarify. I remember getting this prompt off someone, and then like on YouTube, I remember looking it up. And apologize, I actually forgotten who it was, but I got the prompt and I just adjusted it. So it might be similar to someone else's, but like who knows? Same thing. I need at the end of the day. You need to find the name of one of the defendants, past clients. You can call them, stand out. I want you to visit the defendant's website, look for testimonials, reviews, or case studies, and return the name of a company that has worked with the defendant. Your final answer must only contain the name of the company with any prefixes or suffixes. Make sure to format the name properly, and limit the name to 1 to 2 words. Blah blah blah. Yes, here's your final output. So one thing I like to do with stuff like this is give it examples of what it should actually like look like. It's really important that they know what it's actually supposed to look like when you're doing something like this. So this is pretty simple. It's just giving you an output of what it's actually supposed to look like, which is like Amazon, whatever. I just obviously everybody knows Amazon. So and then also you ask it to output like no data because you don't want it to just scrape something completely random and it's like, oh, okay, this has absolutely zero relevance to what I'm doing. So you just run no data and it's like, oh, okay, right, we're actually good now. So no data. And as you can see, we have a no data here. And all you do for the next one is run a conditional search. Or sorry, you have a condition saying if d equals no data, you just don't run it. And then you could maybe import that into a different smart lead campaign or instantly whatever you use. Or you could also just leave it maybe like depends on what you want to run. Sometimes I just leave it like it really doesn't matter. And then this is I'm going to provide you with the website of a VC firm. Your goal is to use the website to provide uh, the website provided and okay what types of industries they invest in. Only output one industry and make sure it's their main industry. So this was a specific to like investors and VCs. So that's why this is here. Another thing I could recommend is if you got the industry, sorry, if you got the website of the case study and then got the industry of that one, that also works. It makes sense in theory. Like you literally just put in a prompt. Like if I was to do it on the fly, it would be, um, I'm going to provide you with the name of the company and also what they do. I need you to find their website and get me the industry of et cetera, what they do. So like, and you would provide this website as well, and then also this. So you'd have the two of them because I would guarantee there's another company in the world called Goose, and it would also bring up a goose. So when you search it into Google search, I guarantee if you put that to Clayton, it would bring up a goose. So let's not do that. Next one is a compliment. So this one I actually took a little bit more time to kind of work on. So I'll go through the prompts here. So you run individual achievement, independent achievement, and then complement achievement. So I'll just go through it now. The idea is, right, I think, is my whole screen showing? I think if I go incognito, right? Oh no, it won't work. I remember doing this, right? Basically, there is LinkedIn profiles that are public, which is fine, which is great and all. And you can basically scrape information off public LinkedIn profiles because you can access them while incognito, even though I've tried it and it doesn't really work, but Claygen's able to do it. So like I've done it before, but it's a bit weird because they sometimes ask for like login information based off your IP. But yeah, so basically this is like a LinkedIn profile of a person. So, and all you do is this is the prompt, and this is yeah. So it's assume the role of a professional background investigator. Start by accessing the provided LinkedIn profile. So this is the LinkedIn profile that they receive. Examine the individual's background and history. Investigate notable accomplishments and awards via their LinkedIn and official website in descending order from the current to the least recent position. Geez, that's hard to say. Don't output achievements from where they work. This has to be independent from their current or past work. Output all the achievements you can find and rank them from most impressive to least impressive. If you can't find anything, output no data. So the way this works is when you then get the output, wait, here we go. So now you have a bunch of outputs. Like these are personal achievements from this person. So it's top 23 and 23 Miami women in real estate, recognized among influential women in the KO conference, South Florida's women of influence. Like it's just different, you know? Like this is actually stuff on their LinkedIn that you can research. So, and it also requires nothing special in terms of LinkedIn scraping, which is nice because this is all like on public data. So these are directly from LinkedIn, includes both awards, independent, and some of these people are seriously decorated. And this also only works for certain industries, which is also something you have to take into account because like I'm not gonna lie, I don't think a plumber is going to have updated LinkedIn data. So if you're doing any sort of like online space, they should have updated LinkedIn. Like this is, I think these are VCs. Not 100% sure. Pretty sure these are VCs. And then, so okay, so the difference between this is individual achievement, and I was trying to get individual achievements before company achievements. And then this is basically the same prompt, but should change here somewhere via their LinkedIn and official website. Don't output achievements from where they work. This has to be independent from where they work. Password. Yes. Okay. So the way this works is now we're looking at examine the individual's background and history. Yeah. So now you're working off kind of instead of individual achievements they have, it's more like a company achievement background. So you basically get different information. So diplomat of the American Board of I don't even know what that is. I actually don't know what that is. Pernatology. I'm gonna look into that now. Leadership in boardsmen recognized by Eldorado. So now you can see this is all like, what is that? I haven't actually looked into this. I don't know what that is. Gingival fibroso. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, I look like an idiot, but whatever. Yeah, so this is basically like personal information of the person. It's a bit more different to the individual achievement, where this is based off kind of like country and like a bit more of background of where they used to work, etc. So the idea is this is individual, this is a bit more company. So if you cannot find an individual, then you go to company, and then what you do is you just make it like an end one. So this is like whatever you want to make it really, but this is I'm going to provide you with some achievements for an individual. Your goal is to pick the most meaningful and specific goals they've achieved. I want you to sort. I want you to write a short compliment for that person. Keep it under 10 to 15 words. Make sure to be specific with the reference and reference one of their achievements. Begin with, I saw on your LinkedIn. And the secret to this, right, is you don't have either of them ticked. So both columns can, like this can run if both columns don't exist, but then you have it. So if the response, or if the second response has no data, like equals no data, then you don't run it, or if it doesn't exist. So that means that it will always run if it doesn't equal no data or doesn't exist, which makes sense because that's kind of what you want. So that's kind of like the way I go about this. So this is good for like follow-ups if you want to reference like, oh look, um, like you have the value prop in the first email and you're like, oh okay, we can do this X, X, and X for you, and then so maybe some ideas. And the follow-ups you're like, oh, look, I saw you were kind of like you did this. It's pretty cool. I just want to see if you're kind of still interested, or maybe you put it in the PS line, and then maybe you have a third follow up as well. It's basically just variation. That's all it is. Instead of cramming it in all into the first one, you have some variation into like the first follow up and in the second follow up, and it just makes sure that they're not reading the same email again and again. And there's some sort of touch point. Right, and the last one is competitors. This one absolutely cooks. It just cooks, right? When someone says like it just cooks. So all you have, I have a company domain and a location. Usually I have a company name as well, but it's just what can you do? And then all you do is you perform a Google search. And props, I did see this from Eric Nowalski. He's an absolute legend at Clay, and he's so good at Clay. So this is one of the flows that he runs, which is company domains, competitors in response. So this is Enduring's competitors in this country or whatever. And then all you do is main competitor. Um, oh yes, sorry. Oh, where am I going with this? So basically, you basically run a formula call, and it just extracts all these snippets from this. So if I was to go into this, search result, and then boom, and then the snippet is like this kind of like thing in the bottom. And some of them will have people, some of them won't have people. Like this is a list of 20 VC venture capital funds that invest in local startups. Honestly, right? If this was me, you could definitely run some sort of Zenro scrape and scrape all of the lists. It depends on how much money you want to throw at this. But you have the link. So if you run, let's say, like a Zenro scrape and then scrape all of these kind of lists, then you're sitting pretty because then you have all the information and all the VC firms. So there's that as well. And then what you do is you basically append them all together, which is just like another code term, which is you just join them. You just I don't know, you just like join them all together, and then let me see, and you come to main competitors, and then what you do is using the input time the competitor, the company we're looking up, this company. This is the company we are looking up. Company name. We are looking up this company, so the company cannot possibly be a competitor. Pull this text. If the competitor is mentioned multiple times, name them. If no, competitor is named multiple times, name the one competitor you are most sure of. Include only company names, not websites. If nothing is found, right, no competitor found. Boom. And then you put in competitor analysis, which is this column here, and then it extracts it very simply. And all you do is you get the competitor. If this was me, another thing you could do is you can run like a fact check as well. So you can get the website of this new company that you're running, and pretty simply, you just run it through some sort of like op where you just run it through a Cajun search. You give them the company domain, and you also give the competitor, and you just fact check and be like, are these people in the same like industry? Like, are they actually VC firms? And then you get your kind of answer. So if they're not a VC firm, then they're obviously not a VC firm. You don't want to deal with that. So it's just one of those things. And so, look, these are 5 tables that I run. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you now. Bye.